ready. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this presentation of the of PlusTools. Wait a minute. I'm not sure my screen is shared, but it's coming. It's coming. Could take a while.
I still cannot see your screen. Huh?
Yeah, I know. This is I don't know. Slow.
No.
It's kind of slow. You see it? Oh yes. Okay. Good. We just run just 3 slides. But stop me if you don't see my screen.
Okay.
So the name of the software is called PlusTools, and you basically have most of what you need in that one slide. It's a definition of what it is. It's a translation tool for translators, obviously, especially freelance translators, people who work direct for clients, as opposed to people who work for agencies. But if the agency sends you a Word document, a docx file, then you're okay. If it sends you a PDF file, you're okay too, because PDF has to be converted to docx before being translated. So we can look at PDF as being a doc file. So if you do that for an agency, or if you are a freelance translator mostly doing Word document or PDF, then PlusTools is a translation tool that's good for you. The other thing is that it's also, and it used to be, and up until a year ago, it used to be just a toolbox is turned towards geeks and engineers and people doing all sort of localization tasks for the translation industry. You know, people who handle XLIF, TMX, glossaries, terminology, have to split them or merge them or extract or convert or do search replace and so on those files. And at the bottom, you see the location where you can find PlusTools. It's the wordfast.net website. And then you have a product menu. You slide down and you have PlusTools, and that's where you can download it and use it. This time, the first very important thing, because everybody's asking, no, PlusTools is not an online tool. Okay, it's installed in your computer and it runs locally. You don't have to have the internet running to run PlusTools, but stay tuned. The data, documents, memories, terminology is also yours, and it's easy to maintain. It's those who have used Wordfast Classic will find the same formats for the memories and glossaries, which are just text file that you can easily open and maintain. Not as an option, PlusTools can connect to a web-based source, especially machine translation, remote TMs, artificial intelligence, but those are just options. Okay, if you install PlusTools, you can run it in complete confidentiality outside of the internet, unless you want to connect to over the web resources. It already supports optional connections to AI sources, ChatGPT, Claude, and I will make a demonstration of that. It runs on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. The last presentation I did a few months ago was half on a Mac and half on Windows. I will keep this one just on Windows for simplicity's sake. It takes 5 seconds to download. You may find this really strange, but PlusTools is under 1 megabyte big or small. It's portable. It doesn't have to be installed. So you can put it on a USB flash drive or even your phone, connect to your PC, and run it from there. So we'll run through the first side, which is a CAD tool designed as being the most simple to use. This is why I write setup free. And then I write full stack. Full stack means it's got everything that a modern CAD tool needs, AI, MT, TM, terminology, QA, and so on. So the idea of PlusTools is open a document, translate, deliver. That's it. So let's take a look at that first part. I'm going to run, see, I have a shortcut to PlusTools here, and I have a document. So you can see the pointer on my mouse. I should make it bigger. Yeah, I have a Word doc file and PlusTools here. So I double click this one. It comes, and as you can see, the startup is almost instant. It takes 1 or 2 seconds to just open the application. I'm going to drag and drop a docx file, a Word file, onto PlusTools. See, I'm just pick something from my desktop and drop it here. And then I'm going to go, okay. And here it is. I'm going to zoom this. I'm going to make the font larger so you can read. It's easy to read for you. Okay, the font is a bit larger. Not sure. I hope you can read what's here. And then I open this, and the first segment is here. Okay. I have a suggestion from a machine translation source here, which is called A1. It's actually A1 is it's the name of a machine translation connection that I put into PlusTools. I will show you later how this is done, but by default it's done, so you don't even have to set it up. I press enter. I have the target segment here. It's there, so I can click next. The next button is here. Let me see. Can I? Okay, good. Next button. So suppose I don't use the machine translation and I just translate by typing. So I type now. I have just écrit par. If I type capital N, I have an autocomplete, also known as autosuggest. I could just put l10n or enter and accept this name. Pour le, and then and type G, and then I have the newspaper's name. Okay, so it's all there. You see that this proper name is underlined in red. It's the spell checker. Spell checker says I don't know this name, but it's okay. It's a proper name, you know. And there are a lot of QA things, you know. Suppose that I type this. This is a foreign name, could be a Gaelic and Irish name. I'm not very sure. And it tells me that there might be a typo in that name because it doesn't look like the name in the source. That is very unique, I think, to PlusTools. If I put the correct thing, you see that the red warning, which is on the top here, is gone. If I remove this, I have a little red warning that could be an issue with that. You know, that is the live QA, and it's done in non-intrusive way. You don't get a pop-up that comes up with you have to say, okay, going to fix it. No, it just like if I remove the final punctuation here, then it's going to spot that the punctuation is not the same in source and target. And so there is a little sign that says, hey, look at this. So I put this, it's not going to work. I put a full stop, no more QA warning, and so on. I'm going to type. I'm not very good at typing, but I'm typing. Okay, so if I look at my QA here, I have a small thing that says, okay, the full stop is missing, and the first letter case, yeah, that's right. It should have an uppercase in the beginning. I'm happy with that. Move to the next. So here I have a suggest from autocomplete. One is from the translation memory, and one is from AI. Now we're going to test PlusTools and see how smart it is. I'm going to remove tags. Okay. Okay. I removed actually all tags. Okay. And I'm going to try and move to the next. And then there will be a message saying, whoa, the tags are bad. And as you all know, if there are problems with tags in this class of software, at the last minute when you want to get the translated document is going to fail because of tags. Now, fixing tags, or even just introducing tags, is a drag. It's a productivity hog, really. So there is a little icon here, fix tags, and this red guy is going to try and put the tags at the correct place. And let's see, up, it's pretty fast. Let's make sure that the tags were put at the right place. Okay. Okay, well, the French is not perfect, but the tags are here. That's very important. So let me move to the next segment and so on. So as you see, I make a pause here. I close the segment I am on. And as you see, I have translated so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 segments. The rest of the document is empty. But I would like to see, you know, I'd like to see how the final document would look like. In other programs, you call that the preview. Preview is very important. So this is my desktop, okay. What I do is I press Control S. See the option here? Save translated file, Control S. Okay. Up. Now what happens is a new document appears, which is called Brittany. It's the name of my source document, but this one has an FR extension because it's in French. Okay, so I could do two things to preview. One is to simply double click and open it in Word and take a look. So that's French, 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 but then it turns to English because I only translated until here. But you don't even have to open Word. You see, if you have Windows, the Explorer in Windows has an option which is called the preview pane. Let me see. Come on. The preview pane. It's what I have here. And if I maximize the preview pane, my document comes here. And you can see it's French until here. So that's the preview. Of course, it's kind of slow, as you see, but all you have to do here, if I translate drinks, boisson, I save, I press Control S, I hotkey to my thing here, and it's going to be here, boisson in French. So you can actually preview the state of your translation if you want to make sure that the formats are okay, the layout, the styles are okay. As you can see here, in this segment, we had many tags. The tags were the ones that handled the highlight or the bold, all these sort of things. And sometimes when we have those tags, we want to make sure that they are the right place so that the final document is right. And this is the case here. See. So we do have a preview. Now you have to note one thing. Many of other software have a preview mode that is actually a translation of what you do into HTML or web based, and they show you a web page of your document. Nice, but with complex layout, sometimes it fails. Sometimes the tables or the boxes are messed up. Here, the guys who do the preview are called Microsoft, and there's no better people to build a preview than those who actually wrote Word. And it's free. It's free. It's part of your web of your disk browser. So here we continue, and then we have we have the okay. I'm going to show you one thing which may be of interest to some of you, and I'm going to go into the setup here. And in the machine translation that I set up here, we have many preset machine translation engines. You just have to have a key except for 2 or 3 which are free. And here, A1, A2, A3, those guys are OpenAI, also known as ChatGPT. Now, the interesting thing with AI, it's very flashy. People say, oh, everybody talks about AI. The nice thing with AI is that you can prompt them. Let me show you over here. So that's the setup for A1. And I set up it to be, to have a flavor. Okay, casual here, edit. And I'm asking ChatGPT, please translate the following text to target language. Input is HTML, and use casual speech. See that? Okay. If I, oh gosh, I closed my document by mistake. I'm getting back here. It's very quick. And let me see. So as you see here, I have formal, gender neutral, casual, okay, and all. All means I'm going to compare the 3 translation modes, and the magic works. At the bottom now, we have 3 translations of. Did you see that when the professor spoke, quite a few students were surprised because they thought it was controversial. And if you know French, the first one is the formal mode, which is okay. The second one is the DEI or gender neutral mode for those who have a taste for that. If you see étudiante, ES, so this covers the masculine, the feminine, surprise, ES, car, il, elle, or it could be yel, il, elle, pensait que c'était controversé. And if you see the casual mode here, and if you know French, well, you notice that the translation takes on a very relaxed and casual mode. T'as vu que quand le prof, instead of saying professor, young people say prof, they don't say avez-vous remarqué, t'as vu? And parce qu'ils pensaient que c'était voilà, parce que instead of beaucoup, they use pas mal. So that's very interesting because okay, that's just an example, but in your specialty, if you translate for the legal industry, or you are subtitling and you want the text to be compressed and still keep the meaning preserved, but be compressed as much as you can, artificial intelligence can really work well. So here, what is this? Yeah, here, for example, I do a typical mistake that I do when I type. I put 2007-08 instead of 2078. Okay, and immediately the machine will put a red flag here on 2708, saying it could be wrong. So I type it correctly, and now it should disappear. It just did. Yeah. Okay. If I mistype the poor Polish guy's name, it should let me see. Yeah, it should warn me. Okay, it should warn me if I don't type it right. Good. So that's the essentials of the translation tool. As you can see in the setup, If you want, you have two setups. One is a no setup. The machine will give you free machine translation, an automatic translation memory that the machine is going to keep up to date for you. You know, you can use an optional terminology base that your client send, which is very easy to set up. And you can choose to perform QA while I type. That's all you have to do. And that's the way, if you've seen the setup we had now, that's what I used. But um, if you had other translation tools and you understand the technology behind those, then you could set up your machine translation here. Okay, if I take the Google machine translation, then I put my API key at the bottom here. I click OK, and off I go. We can have many machine translation sources at the same time. We can have Claude. Claude is a very good quality MT. Translation memory, you use a TM, select a local TM. And then you can also use a remote TM if you are connected to a translation memory server, such as Wordfast server. Terminology, you select what I call a critical glossary. The critical glossary is the one that your client sends. If you abide by the glossary, you're paid. If you don't, you're fired. So that's why I call it critical. But you can have an auxiliary glossary, which is yours. You know, you have a huge one, you put it there, and then you can have two glossaries at the same time. Terminology and QA, these are the options that you can turn on or off. Check tags, spell check tags, ending punctuation, proper names, and so on. And then you can choose where to have the QA displayed, above source, below target, in a sticky note. So the sticky note would be something like this. See, there's a sticky note that says the ending punctuation is not the same, so put it there. And then it's green. Green mean move to the next, you're okay, you know, and so on. There's a rich setup for the translation tool, and that's the part on just the translation tool. Now there is an other side to PlusTools, which is a localization tool. Let me see. I'm going to open a translation memory here. Where am I? Memories. I'll take translation memory from here. Give me 1 second. I'm kind of lost. Maybe here. Okay. Well, that's a TMX file. So when you open a TMX can have more than 2 languages. So you just choose if there are more than 2, or you can swap target and source. So what you see here is the inside of a translation memory. You have a date, the username, source language, the source text, target language, target text. You can have more fields. It depends on your TM. You can click on the headers, the black thing here, and only have source and target, because many people just prefer to have this. In which case you see the whole segment here. What you can do, well, you can do standard. You can filter Let's convert it to text. Text is the native format for Wordfast Classic and Wordfast plus tools. Okay, so we have now the same TM, but in a Wordfast Classic format. And then, you can do a lot of things. The basic one is to filter. So let's you could filter all the source segments that contain Wordfast. Okay, and then if I do a search for Wordfast, if I do a search for Wordfast, then I can see that every segment has Wordfast in it. Let me repeat that. So that's a subset of the translation memory with a filter on a certain term. Now, what I can do is, okay, I can unselect, reverse select, export. So what I did is like, suppose you work with a colleague and half of the translation memory is your username and half of the translation memory is a different translator. So you could filter on this AG, SL, and so on. And for example, if I filter so that the user contains SL. Okay, I only have the content of the TM which was created by SL. Then I can export it or copy to clipboard. Okay, and my clipboard is actually a small TM which only has the content from user SL. And then I can import the clipboard into a different TM. So you have all the methods to handle TMs. You can split them, merge them, extract them, filter them on a lot of criteria here. Now, if you have a large TM, this one is pretty small, so I would take let me take a large TM. No, that's where do I have a large TM here? Big stuff, memories. Okay, let me take this one. It's large. Okay, this is large. What I can do in my filters, I could look for redundant stuff. The thing, when you combine, merge, and etc., translation memories, you can have a lot of redundant content because you merge them. So you start this, you apply, and then it's going to do a lot of work and look for. No, this one is clean. That's because I just killed the redundancy. So let me take another one, which should have redundant content. This one. This one. Filter. Okay, so what you see here is that let's take this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 TUs that have the same source. And you note that the first one is not selected and the 3 other ones are selected. If I use delete selected, then I'm going to clean up my TM of all duplicate content or redundant content. Now, let's look at see there's a date stamp here. You will note that the one which is left not selected, which will remain, is the youngest one. If you look well, they all have the same age, but if they had a different age, it's the youngest one which would be unselected. Okay, okay. These are duplicates that are okay. I just click delete selected. I deleted 6,000 repeated lines, and now my TM is clean. Clean means every translation unit is unique. There's only one of those. And what you could do, you can append a TM to it. You can reorganize, and when you reorganize, you can anonymize. You take a TM that you've done for a client, you use the TM or maybe share it with a friend, but you don't want sensitive content to be there. So you can anonymize a TM, which is um, replacing all the sensitive information, which are email addresses, websites, URLs, proper names, and so on, are going to be uh, um, replaced by tokens that look like but are not identical to the source, and so on. There are a lot of things that you can do with PlusTools. I think we hit now. It's 3:41. I will give it over to Karina D'Emilio so she can begin to look for questions, and then maybe I will answer them with examples. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Yves. Well, if you want to ask a question, I can allow your mic and you speak direct to Yves. I cannot see any questions in the chat box or question box. So, okay, or you being you was very clear, Yves, or no one there? Ah, yes, Martin, you raise your hand. I will enable your mic, Martin. You can speak now.
Let's get that. Eve, I tried this yesterday for the first time, admittedly a little late since your last presentation. But I tried expanding a segment and I found I was not able to do that. I got a pop-up window which asked me to edit on
Hmm.
screen. I did, I
Hmm.
clicked OK, and then the session crashed basically. I could not manage to merge the two segments. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong there.
No, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. The expansion of a segment is still under construction, but let me try it right here. Okay, let me try this. It's the plus minus
Hmm.
icon here,
Yeah.
and you have this. Okay, let me see. Let me try to break a segment here and then break it again here. And if there's a crash, then it means there's a bug right now. But let me try that anyway. Okay. Uh, Yeah, so Brittany is known as the break.
Okay.
Next segment, cider country, comma, next segment, Loic, and so on. So if I go back to this, I reopen, I reopen, I redo this.
Hmm.
Now I can try, do backspace. No, is here. Yeah, I can try to backspace here, reintroduce a space, boom, reintroduce a space, and try, but keep my fingers crossed because this
Hmm.
is a part which is very challenging. I'm
Sure.
still working on it. Well, it looked like it worked, so I was lucky. But
Can
yeah,
you try? Can you try it just with the existing segments that have been supplied from the segmented document? So in other words, don't break it first, but just
yeah.
take a segment and try joining it to the next one and see what happens.
So there's a limitation. Let me show you. The limitation is that uh, you cannot right now you cannot expand beyond a paragraph mark. In other words, um, if I have this segment here, I could do this, okay, and
Yeah.
this, okay, but at this time you cannot merge or like see there's a full stop here.
Mm. Sure, I appreciate that. Yesterday,
Yeah, yeah.
the segment had been broken at a colon, and I wanted to merge the part with the colon with the rest of the sentence, and it simply wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah, okay. Let me see. There are two things we can do. Is one thing is just re-download PlusTools and try again. And if it doesn't work, write to me, and provide me
Sure,
the extract, just the piece of text, so I can try and see what goes wrong.
sure
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. It's a very common thing that. Let me see. I'm going to try what you're saying. Suppose we have this. Okay. So. Where's my Plus Tools? Where is it? Is it here? Yeah, it's here. I'm going to close this. Close this. I take this again. And is it being cut at the where is the where was the column that I introduced? Wait a minute, I'm lost.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Okay, the Celtic. Okay, the Celtic. Yeah, it's here. See, alive. The Celtic.
Okay, right,
So let
yes, good.
let
Yeah.
me open that. And what you wanted to do was, yeah, see, there was an error. I saw the bug, and I think it's going to fail. Yeah, it failed. See, it didn't fix the thing. So
Interesting.
I'm going to see what's wrong with that. See, type error, 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 error. Okay,
Sure.
there's an issue. There's an issue which it looks like is limited to the colon. So
Cool. Thanks for checking that.
you found the bug. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Is it
owe you a
possible to
beer.
set the section delineator so it doesn't break it at a colon in the first place?
Of course, of course. It should work. It should work with the colon. So I think there's something wrong in the code.
But when
Yeah.
it initially imports the document, can you get it to ignore colons so that it
I
separates
see.
later?
Yeah, we can.
It
I
full
have to
stops.
provide that. Yeah, I
Ah,
have to provide that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
not yet
that's
done, but it should be done. We should be able to specify what ends a segment. Yeah, that's right.
sure. Yeah, yeah, cool. So that's coming basically.
Yeah, yeah, that's coming. Yeah.
Okay,
Question
that's great. Can I ask you one other quick question? Is it possible
Sure.
to set attributes when you're working so that all of your segments from a particular document are tagged in a certain way to be able to
Oh,
identify them later, like you can in Wordfast Classic, for instance?
yeah, that's right. If you look at the current state of affairs, and you look at the manual right now, it's here. Okay.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
Attributes. It's here. Okay. Here, there's the chapter. I don't want to waste my time. What's
No, no, that's
missing?
fine. I will check that.
What's
That's
missing?
fine.
The attributes are preserved. If your classic TM has attributes, they are not going to be destroyed, but they are not used yet.
Ah,
That's the thing. See, they're not used yet to fine tune whether it's an exact match or a fuzzy match or stuff like that, you
mhm,
know. But that's coming. I would say right now version is 0.8, and when I reach version one,
mhm.
all those things are going to be ready. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. Marvelous. Oh, thank you for that. That's appreciated.
yeah. Okay. So
Okay,
this one,
we have more questions, huh?
okay.
Okay, I will read someone here. Will PlusTools also support other files formats like Excel?
Yeah, the answer is right now I'm doing what we call a proof of concept based on docx. Anything that's Office is going to be
Mhm.
supported, and that includes Excel and PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay, that's very easy. It would
Uh,
take me 2 or 3 days to do that. Once I go beyond the beta stage and people start using Plus Tools, I will expand to the Microsoft Office, we call the Open Office format or ODT, which is almost exactly the same.
okay. And William Ray, he asks you, do we have a fixed tag button in Wordfast? You mean in Wordfast Pro, or where? we do we have a fixed tag button in Wordfast?
Uh,
I can allow
a fixed,
you fixed tag
a fixed,
button, fixed tag button, like
fixed
like
tag.
you, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Yeah. I mean, whatever I do on Classic or I did for 20 years, finally makes it in other tools, including Wordfast Pro, of course. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
the fixed tag, see, the fixed tag is pretty recent because it uses a sort of artificial intelligence to redistribute to put the tags at the proper place, which is not easy, but it works now. It works okay. Yeah, we will do our best to have it in WordPress Pro in this year.
Wordfast Pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Yes, says Mali, is there any possibility to have this webinar recorded? Yes, it is recording now, and you will have it on our YouTube channel very soon, and all in all our social media. So be sure to follow us. Uh, Mali, add an extra. I want to read your question again. I add an extra question mark. Sorry for that. Okay, okay. No worries. Uh, well, let me check for more questions.
Well, there's
What
one
do?
point I didn't mention yet.
Mm-hmm.
PlusTools is for the moment it's in beta stage. Many people use it in production and they're okay with it. It's in beta stage and it's going to be free and remain free. I
Mm-hmm.
can predict for at least this year, 2025. It may then become a commercial product distributed for free with WordFast Classic and WordFast Pro, and but with a price for people who are not in the WordFast ecosystem.
Okay. Vanessa, I allowed your mic. You want to ask the question? Vanessa, are you there? Because you raised your hand. Okay. Okay, no question. How do you compare PlusTool with Wordfast Pro? Are they complementary or one replaces another? Replaces, I think. No.
Yeah, well, there is an overlap between the two. So,
Mm-hmm.
in some sense, it's sort of reinventing the wheel. Okay, Wordfast PlusTools was made because Wordfast Classic, works on Microsoft Word, and there are two issues with that. One is that some people just don't like using Microsoft Word, and the second is that maybe in the coming years, Microsoft is going to kill the macros in Word. Word is going to continue, but it may be stripped of its macros. It's a speculation. It's not yet sure. So PlusTools is made ready to replace WordFast Classic. WordFast
Yeah.
Classic is the ancestor. So there is an overlap. Now, WordFast Pro does much more than PlusTools does. It has a sort of a project oriented user interface. It has a lot of trans-check, QA features that are very fine grained, if you like. Um, it's a more complete tool, while PlusTools is more basic and especially made for people who don't like the complexity of that comes with
Mm.
WordPress Pro.
Yes. Yes, I understand it. Well, here Bridget, she said, I translated only a very small document, but I don't know yet how to close it. Every time I click on Plus Tool, the same document comes up.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to show you, but you may need to re-download PlusTools and try again. What you do when you hit the last segment here, okay, fin du document test, okay, hold down, it's finished. What you do is settings on the right side, and then you do save translated file, okay. Uh, then if you click OK, PlusTools is going to open Word, and it opens the translated file, which has a language extension like here is FR. So if I do this, Word is going to come and show the document. So the document is going to be the one which is here with the FR extension, okay? Or if you translate to German, it's going to be underscore DE, okay? That's your file. If you are in PlusTools, let me see. If you are in PlusTools and you have finished your document, you have a small X here, and you just close this, and
Mm-hmm.
it's done.
Perfect. Perfect.
And if you want to
Okay,
translate some, yeah, please.
one more question. Pamenoinas, will the release version work on macOS and Linux on its own without need for Wine?
The answer is no. For the moment, you need to run Wine. Uh, I extensively use Wine on the Mac, and once it's been installed, PlusTools runs without a hitch. I mean, I've tested all the functions and everything, but it was not the case until I would say a month and a half ago. Uh, about a month and a half ago, there were problems on the Mac, but it's gone now. If you re-download PlusTools and run it under Wine, it runs and very fast. It's very fast.
Okay. Well, I cannot see more questions, but if there is one that I did not answer, please raise the hand. You have the icon there, and I will allow your mic. I cannot see more questions, so I think, well, this is it. This is the end. Well, I think this is the end. I'm not seeing any more questions. Thank you, Yves, for this webinar. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And please, oh, Brigitte, you want to speak? I will allow your mic. Wait a minute, Brigitte. There you are. You can speak. Can you? Yes. Yes or no? Just your mic is on. Oh my God, Brigitte. You say, can we get in touch after seeing the recorded session? Yes, you can send the questions to. I will write my email in the chat box, and then you can send the questions, your doubts, and we will try to solve them. Let me send it here. Carina de Emilio at wordfast.com. Feel free to write. You're writing there with a Z in the middle.
Yeah, it's the freaking French keyboard. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Well, again, please stay tuned because we will be posting our next free webinars. Maybe not sure in June, but for sure in July we'll start again with all our expert teams. For sure, Philippe Loquet with Wordfast Anywhere, Reginaldo, Francisco, and Jamie Lucero with Wordfast Pro, and again with Yves Champollion and PlusTools or whatever he will want to talk about. And of course, you are free to suggest any topic to treat on our next webinar. So we say goodbye for now, and thank you again for joining us. See you soon.